Well, I would talk about how to create togetherness in the couple, and therefore a bit about information to the lady, fit alignment, and transfer of weight. I will give just, depending on the time, I don't have so much time, just a few points about these three elements which are involved in creating harmony in the couple through the movements.
Thank you very much.
Our ex-world champion, Domenico Soale, here in Wuppertal.
Thank you. Yes, okay. Thank you very much, Aziz. Good morning, everybody. I know that I've been there before you. I know what it means practicing hard, having lessons, and think about all these informations, and still be awakened in the morning and listen to somebody else who's trying to tell you what to do, actually. And I really appreciate that you are here. I will try my best to see if I can offer to you something that may help you in any possible way. And as I'm alone, I will try to show you by myself, but I may ask some of you to help me. Do you mind it? Yes. Probably, yeah, okay. If you mind it, of course not, but I will see if somebody of you can probably give me a support in some kind. And if you have any questions about, don't be shy, but please raise your hand and go for it, okay? So, as Aziz already said, it's a bit difficult in the last day to talk about something which is already, probably has been explained already. Dancing is quite complex, it's quite articulated. There are many things to talk about, but we are all going to the fundamentals in the end. We are all going to explain things that are common to every style of dancing. I'm going to tell you what I think was interesting for me through my experience, through my competitive career and through my learning process. Now, I have a question for you. I don't know how many of you find themselves in this situation I describe. You go to lesson, you have problem with some part, you are sure that is your partner that doing something wrong. Your teacher try to dance with your partner and he say, no problem, I can lead it, I can do it. How many of you have this situation? No, not everybody. I had. My teacher with the cigarette in one hand, not even with two hands, with a cigarette in one hand, you know, no problem, yeah, it's there, she do everything. And I was, with full position and try my best to make it work, and it didn't work. So I was thinking, why? Why he can do it so easily, and I am younger, I am fit, more fit, I do gym every day, and why not? So in the end of the day, I want to talk to you about a few aspects which are very basic, which for me are very essential in order to create some results. When I was dancing, my idea was in the competition that I want to look good, good line, good top, open, beautiful, volume. I want to move, so create a lot of movements, create musical movements. And I want to have efficiency. I want to be able to hold that performance for a long time. Sometimes when we have long competitions, you have to face 4, 5, 6 rounds. So it's not only good enough that it's working well for 1 or 2 dances and after you start to collapse, but you need to have something that supports it in order not to waste the energy. We need a lot of energy because dancing is physical. We have to move our body. We have to move our joints. So that means that we have to dance physically. We have to move ourselves a lot. But we have to do it in a clever way, in an efficient way with each other, in order to have the maximum effect with the minimum effort that we are putting. So we try to be more clear what we are using in our body and when we are using that. in order not to try to make everything together, which is what I feel many times it was happening to me, with the willingness to try to be the best. So I want to do all the things in one time, yes? I did not have a clarity in my understanding about what I have to do and when I have to do it. And also related to my partner, related to what she is supposed to do, which of course my teacher had much more clear in his mind. Therefore, he could do it even without hands if he wanted, probably, I don't know, but at least he did it with the cigarette in one hand, so I guess. Anyway, the elements what I'm going to talk about for you are, I'm going to touch it because the timing is not so much, so you have to excuse me, so that's why I say if you want, you can ask questions. I don't have so much time to go so deeply into that, but I try to give you some examples, and I will touch 3 areas mainly. One is body weight transfer from foot to foot through the awareness of a central balance position, which is very important to me. One is feet alignment, which is also very important to me. And one is information to the partner, how we actually give and when we actually give information to our partner. So, if we are dancing, we are constantly relating ourselves to our feet. Do you agree with that? So, we are obviously standing on our feet. The feet is, in the end, my balance point, is my reference point. Even when you are creating more extreme shapes, more dynamic shapes, I don't know, you want to go into like a sort of telespin to pull your partner out, you know, with the telespin position after, which is quite dynamic with your head weight, but still I'm relating to my foot. That dynamic action from my head weight is coming from the pressure what I'm putting through the floor, through that foot which is supporting me. So whatever we are doing, even if it's more extreme, we have to relate to our base. Our base, I mean my feet, but I mean also how I am actually moving the lower part of my body, which, if you think about it, is actually the support for the top of my body. We have gravity that is taking us to the floor. So if we don't have the support from the lower part, as if we take the support of the hip line, I will drop with my shoulder line, because this is not actually supporting my top. So when I'm going to create any movements, any shape, any sway, which is actually should be in balance with each other, I try always to keep that in mind. And I try to keep in mind that even though I'm swaying, I don't let, for example, my hip joint going outside the line of my foot, because that will actually take my balance away. And unless I want to go there, of course. I will try to make the sway in such a way that my hip line, my pelvis area, will stay in my feet through the sway action, from one way or from another way, yes? In order to provide a certain support for my top, okay? So that means that your ankles and your knees are also doing something together with that. So when we are trying to do something with our top, we are also doing something with our lower part. There is no division in a way in our body. It's like a chain reaction. It's like a flow of energy through the joints from down to up, or maybe from up to down, but there is an harmony through the movement of it. My idea in that sense, and then I'm going to give you some detail about the 3 elements, what I was explaining for you, in the ballroom dance, but I can see it also through the Latin fields, was a lot about volume. And I personally see the couple as a circular energy. So I see the frame of the couple as a circle in my mind, okay? And I try to create that through the way through my posture as well. I'm trying to provide also from that foot pressure as support from my center to my partner, and from my back, I open my back in a way that I can create that energy of a circle that is meeting with my partner, which is actually creating the completing part of the circle. The circle has got no beginning, has got no ends. It is something that is not lines that are meeting 2 points, but where the circle starts, where the circle ends. There is no beginning and no ends. It's something that can continue moving forever. And this is the way that I personally like, the feeling that I enjoyed it through my dancing, when I could feel that one movement was joining into the next one, a sort of circle and 8 position, movement around it, which of course is created also by how we are posturing ourselves. If we are in a bad posture, of course, we can forget about it, because of course it doesn't look good as well. But of course it's affecting the couple. So with that idea in mind, when I am starting any action, if we are talking about the 3 elements, what I was mentioning to you, feet alignment, weight transfer through the central balance, and information to the lady, as soon as we are starting any action, like it could be like a simple, not so simple, but simple natural turn into a spin turn or whatever, when we are actually starting the movement and we are starting the downswing part of the natural turn, we have to go first through the preparation. Normally, we have to create a preparation to the movement. If I want to create, of course, a swing with my left side, I have to prepare for that with my right side in order then to be able to create that swing. If I don't have a preparation of the movement, I cannot have the actual movement. I would say that the preparation is as important as the movement itself, which we may forget sometime. Nevertheless, we are already facing these 3 elements. We are already facing feet alignments. It happens sometimes that when I'm making the preparation, my moving foot, instead of working to the alignments where my body wants to go, is actually maybe that may follow the alignment of my body. So my body is rotating, is pointing that direction in a way, and my foot actually follow that in this particular case. So my foot is disconnected from the activity, what I'm creating from my actually standing foot, which is passed through my joints, through my knee joints, my hip line, and my rib cage and my shoulder. That activity through that line of my right foot is what indicates the direction to my left foot, so that my joints can keep rolling through and can be efficient in creating that long swing in a way. If I'm starting to disconnect my left foot, I'm thinking just placing my left foot instead of doing the process from the right one and take the alignment with my left, of course, we may get like 2 different directions, which actually you may figure out that is not the best way to start, okay? Many times, because we are looking for a big shape and we want to be on the outside of the turn, we may do that mistake as well, because we are thinking, I want to be on the outside of the turn, therefore you may slightly open your foot because you are trying so much to go leftwards. To my idea, when I want to create more separation with my partner to be more left, I'm feeling not so much moving my head weight to the left, but I'm feeling more so much moving my center to the right. I feel it more. That is my center going to my partner, which is creating actually that curve through my body. In the end, my head should be with my balance point, which is my foot. So if I start to move my head weight away from my foot, that means that I want to lose the balance over that foot. This has happened quite a lot, actually. Can I use you even if you are a Latin? Yes, why not? We have a nice mix. Do you agree? Yes, sure. Yeah, sure. Okay. If I have my partner with me, you are my partner from now on. He doesn't care. Yeah. Well, yeah, you had enough, yes, I know. 18 years together, she says, so it's time for changing. Okay, so when we are actually connecting with each other, already, of course, you know that we have separation of weight, we are not dancing in front of each other, so she's on a space, because we are connecting right side and right side. This is very basic information, I just say, just in case. So when we are here and we are connecting with each other, by just staying on my foot and she's staying on her foot on the left, we already have a separation. When I want to increase my separation, I try not to move myself away from the partner. I still stay with my head on my foot, but through my foot pressure, I try to send and to support with my center my partner. So I'm sending her from my activity, from my body, into her space to the left, by being aware that she's still balanced over that foot. So I don't want to unbalance my partner, because as well as I have to be on balance on my leg, she, of course, has to have her balance over, okay, I'm using you in that way, over the left leg. So when I try to extend my partner, I need to be aware that my partner, in order to extend, has to have the space to work her body forward to me. So extended lines for the girl is not backwards movements, but it's forward movement, because she needs to balance on the ball of the foot. So when I'm doing that, I'm providing her also that space that she can actually come to me in order to create our separation. Yes? So, thank you very much, darling. It's actually nice to dance with Latin dress and Latin shoes. I never tried that. It's a new experience for me. Okay, I will use it again, if you may, if you want. So, what I was going to talk to you about is that even through a natural rotation, when we want to create this circularity of the movement, we are, in the end, using, of course, our head weight as well as we are using the other body parts, but in giving the information to the partner, which is the point what I wanted to say to you, when I will be on my left, I'm approaching my left foot, so we're going back on the transfer of weights. I don't transfer my weight directly, but I try to be aware that when I'm placing my foot, there is a moment where I'm reaching the central balance. In that moment, I'm completing the pressure from the back leg, and I'm starting to activate a sort of pulling action from my front leg. My knees start to relax, because I want to reach the ball of the foot in a smooth and comfortable way, okay? If I transfer immediately my body weight, two things happen. I cannot control the speed. If I want to do it slower, I cannot, for example. And I cannot control my partner. Once I'm on the foot, you have to consider that you have a momentum. You are moving. Once you are on the foot, is already the time that your body wants to go on the next one. So you have to a little bit think ahead and anticipate your activity. So at the moment that I'm touching with that foot is actually the moment that I'm already giving the information to my partner by using my hip, knee joint, by using my body in a way of coordinating my hip line, my shoulder blade, my rib cage, in order that I can decide where I want to go. From this alignment, if I want, I can create, quite a normal direction through, but I also can create quite a lot of curve if I want. So it's a moment when you actually try to give a leading to your partner, is the starting of the swing, and the first leading, what I'm trying to say to my partner is where to go, so the direction, and how fast as well. That's why it's important to start it ahead. So my partner needs to have the time to understand the information. If I'm starting my leading too late, that means that my partner have a very short time to feel it and to react to the information. So when we are actually leading our girl, we have always to consider that we have to actually try to give a time for the responding action of the partner. An action means a reaction. So when I'm doing this action here, I expect that my partner know that she has then to use her own leg, she has to use the knee forward, she has to start to commence the rotation, she has to start to rotate the hip joint, she has to start to use the pressure from the upper part of the body and the rib cage to reach the ball of the left foot. So I expect my partner to know that, and I expect that when I'm doing that part of the action, she's actually responding to me, and she's actually doing her part according to what I'm asking her, in the direction what I'm asking her. So when I'm leading, I also in a way listening to her. This was one of my also mistake that I was doing through the competitive career. So I have my routine has got this direction. I have to dance my throwaway, you know, from telemark to that direction, and that's it. I have to go there, it's looking good like that, I have to present it that way. Doesn't matter if my partner is coming with me or not, I go there. This is not the way. It's not the best way, it's not the most efficient way, and it has a lot of risks, because you may damage the volume of the couple, you may damage the musicality of the movement, you may damage many things that are involved in our system. I'm talking to the boys now. If you are not listening to your partner, how do I listen to my partner? So when I'm giving an information to my partner, how do I listen to that? In this case, not from my ears, but in this case, I try to listen to my partner, of course, from the touching. What is touching my partner is my body, is my hands. Of course, she's touching me also through her arms, so I also listen to that. But my hands are also extremely important in leading and in listening what my partner is doing. If I may use you one more time, if I was, sorry, it's not planned, in fact, she's Latin dressed. If you have enough of me, you tell me. It doesn't matter of the camera and stuff like that, just say yes. So when I'm taking position with her, I'm very aware that, we go around so everybody can appreciate you. I'm very aware that for example, my right hand is in connection with her left shoulder blade, which is in connection with her left foot, possibly with the left ball of foot. So I should feel if my partner is on the heels, on her heel with the balance, on the center or on the ball. We should be aware of that. Yes, so with my hand, many times I see, in order to create big shape, man is fixing the right side, finding the contact, fixing the right side, turning the partner, because wants the big shape. But is not aware of the response of the girl to his leading. If I'm leading that action, that means that my partner is doing something to be with me. And if I'm not aware where is her balance point through my connection, through my hand, if I'm not aware through my hand that her shoulder will be completely out of her feet, like that, if I'm moving over there, I'm completely out of direction. Because if I create that, that means that we have two different directions between us. If I make like that, okay, but now I have this direction and she has this direction, so we are going like that. Goodbye. So I have to take my partner with me only from my arms. That's not efficient. So, sorry, darling, I just leave you. That's not efficient, actually, because it's actually a waste of energy that we have got if we keep dancing like that. So, in the moment that I'm giving an information to her, if I'm aware through my touch where is her shoulder blade related to her feet, when I'm giving an extension to her, that my hands still allow her to be on that balance. Even I want to make it more extreme, she's still in balance over that point. I don't take that point out from her balance point. Not because I'm so good, I'm just listening to her. She naturally will not go like that, but she naturally will look for the balance. So I'm leading, but I'm also following where she can go. Through a natural turn, I try to do the same idea. I try to be aware that her left shoulder blade should actually balance with her left foot. She should reach that balance. So I try to lead in a way that she can actually reach for that foot. So if you see, once again, it's not me going away from my partner to the left, but I'm working my center to my partner to create that movement for my partner away from my direction of movement. So in a way, I'm opening the way for me to pass through the action, so that I have freedom and I'm dancing the outside circle without going towards my partner, of course, that way, which is also happening many times, which is actually the same mistake in a way. We are trying to lead so desperate our partner that we actually try to move at the same time and in the same direction with our partner because we have to be together. Thank you very much. I will give you part of the fee. It's correct. What is correct is correct. 20% is yours. So, also, now I was mentioning to you about the backward action for the girl. Also, when I'm dancing backwards and I'm moving on inside of the turn, you all know that we have a pointing alignment with our feet. So that means if we're dancing like 4 on 5, we have a pointing alignment. So my body and my foot are not in the same line, okay? We are all aware of that. So feet alignment doesn't mean that we have to be parallel at all time. When we are passing on the foot, of course, our feet will be parallel to get then the new direction. From here, I can even decide that from that alignment that my foot is telling me, if I use my body, I may curve it. So I will go completely on another alignment. I can play with that. In an inside of the turn, like a feather finish, for example, I have pointing alignment, so I have 2 different directions for a moment. Of course, when I reach this foot, I will then pass through, let's say, again, a parallel position. I'm quite, let's say, having an angle in my body. I'm not square, but my shoulder and my hip are quite in harmony with each other. So it's quite neutral position. My feet is just under my body. So that means that the alignment is naturally taking from my body, my hip line, my feet, my standing feet line, yes? And when we are doing that on an inside of the turn, it, to me, is always nice to see that there is an activity through the inside of the turn because we have to keep providing informations to our partner. So if I want just to dance a 4, of course, the first information is coming from the beginning of the action because I need to say to my partner where we are going. So from this leg, I can decide, okay, we are going this direction, or maybe I can say, no, we are turning a little bit more, I want to go there. Or maybe I can say, no, look, we're going into the swivel, for example. So I can play with what is then my choreography as well, and I'm giving her an information about where to go, yes? Again, through my hands, I'm listening to what she's doing as well. I'm not attaching my hands to my own body, but I'm trying to use that sensitivity to feel what her back is responding to me. I expect a very, very big activity from my girl when she's coming forward. So I don't expect she standing there and waiting for me to pull her through, of course. So I make an action, and I pretend, I would like to have, more politely, I would like to have a reaction from my partner. So I expect that my partner, when she's going forward, she's active through the use of her standing leg, through the use of her body weight, you know, to create the forward movement by moving, starting the action actually from her knees. which is normally happening that it can be so anxious to go forward that we actually want to try to move ourselves directly from the top. Yes? If you think about it, in your position, the head, the back of your head is in line with the back of the heel as a girl, of course. But the balance is on the ball of the foot. So I'm not balancing on the heel of my foot, never. I try to balance on the ball of my foot all the time because it's the most efficient and more powerful way to do. When you're moving forward, I would like to see that through the forward action, anyway, you try to keep the same shape. So you're not moving your head weight through the frame. So in order to do that, we have to start our activity from the knee and the center of gravity. And of course, my body is working a lot. So I'm not just staying with my body there, which is another thing that normally it's happening through the learning process. When you are improving your leg action, you may forget about your body action as well. The two things have to go together all the time. As I told you before, it's like a chain reaction that we are established to our body. We are not separating completely. So I'm not saying, okay, use your legs, now use your body. But we try to make sure that we create that chain reaction through our body, starting from our center of gravity and our knee, activating already our left side to create the forward movement. I could say to you that whenever you are using your knees, you should have a movement also on the outside of your frame. I could say to you that normally it's not the best to keep your elbow fixed in a position and try, to just go with your knees through that. But because there is this harmony, even though I'm starting earlier with my knee, but that action goes through the whole system. Therefore, when I'm moving my knee, I'm also moving the top of my body in the same time. Yes, in the same time, as also considering that the top of my body, it's working on a much wider circle. So if I leave it back and I just make my lower circle to start, this one will never reach it actually. So we have to try to balance it in a way that the outside of the circle, which is actually a very important part in our couple, is active. As I was saying to you many times, probably it's quite easy to just make it, that way. So we have to learn to make it through the correct process. But I expect that there is that activity through in order that my partner gives me something back. Yes? Nevertheless, I come back to the point what I was discussing with you. Going backwards, I have to feel that through my hands, I allow my partner to stay over the balance over left foot. So I'm starting to invite her, but in the same time, I'm breathing with my frame so that I give her the time that she can actually use her legs and come to me. I'm not pulling her directly into the action if that is possible, okay? That is creating a sort of breathing through. What? It's already 11:05. Finita la commedia. Well, sorry, well, I get carried a bit away, so I want to talk about a few things more, but as I told you, it's not so easy in half an hour, to give you details. The main idea that I want to try to give for you is that many times we have to realize how important is feet alignments in order to create movements, and how important is giving the information to our partner, to know when we are giving the information to our partner, and to actually listen to the response of our partner in order to cooperate together, and to be aware that we are not transferring our body weight in a harsh way, because that doesn't allow us to be in control of the moments, in control with the partner, okay? These are the three elements, which of course are very deep, and it's quite impossible to describe in half an hour. Do you have any questions about anything before I leave the place to the Russian gentleman over there? No. I'd like to thank you for coming, even though with Latin support. I hope that you may get some little help from this information, what I gave you. And thank you very much for being here so early in the morning. And see you soon. Thank you.